This is Irontrader, and it's the last call of the day and of the week here. We're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and we'll take a look at the indexes, which are just bleeding out red. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas, along with the Baker Hughes rig count. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy something. It's not for TTF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin daily chart. And I can see there's just really no mojo here. Okay, now that being said here, we still have a possible bull flag building here, okay? Just like we had here, okay? It just didn't do nothing, okay? It just went sideways consolidation, and then we have this nice good double bottom. See how that bottom hit that 63.94 and retested it, just dead nuts, 63.94, and we have that bottoming tail right there. However, we got to get back above that 8-day, okay? So right now, this could stretch out, okay, for a couple more candles. But if it keeps going lower here and we lose this candle right here, 63.940, or this candle here at that 62.590, then your next rate test is right there at 62.480. And then we have that 6,000 mark sitting right there. Now, let me just pull it up here. I'll show you here on like a bigger time frame here. Okay, so right there. Okay, all we got to do is look right to the left of the chart here. Okay, so we look to the bottom there, 58.945. That's going to be the next target. And we just bring that price channel right across there. And what do we got there? We have 57.810. We'll bring this across right here. We also have that 55.645 level. And then we'll come down to the bottom there at 52.820. And then here's your big target is going to be that 49.365. Reason being is we had that consolidation, came right down, sold right off. And then from that point on, we put a double bottom, and then she rallied up very, very nicely. Hasn't revisited that there since. Okay, so that would be a really, really big target if we start losing that 6,005 mark here. But again, we got to see how it all shakes out because we do have a possible bull flag situation. Okay, so on the upside, right here, 8-day, very, very key, 66,526. Then we come up to today's high. 68,560 level, but realistically, this is what you're looking for is that 70,121. That is everything, okay? You have to get back above it. If you're not going to get above it, we're not going to the next level. But if we do get above it here, bottom line, here we have a nice target up there at 71,690, and we have 72,760. 73,575 level. We have 77,110, and then we have the gap up here, 79,660, and then 84,945, and then right there is your 81,758. Okay, so always watch that gap fill, 81,210 level, and watch right there, that's 79,660. Okay, so if it breaks above that 21-day, this is going to be where you're going to be looking for, is right going to be that gap, that fill, and then that possible 50 SMA here. But we got to get back above that 8-day. But right now, it's really like a whole lot of nothing here. But for me, I'm a two-way trader, so I did a little scalp ski in the BITI there today, and that seemed to work out pretty good there. Okay, so that was pretty good. That worked out okay. So I'm satisfied with what that was. Okay, so on a Friday, especially. But I do BITX for the long, BITI for the short. So once we lost that 8-day, boom, you just got to jump in the old short here because even though we have that possible bull flag going here, that could lose that, and we come right down to this territory, and then we negate that bull flag very easily. Now, 36, this is not overbought, oversold. The green is over your red here. We just have this sideways action. It doesn't seem like there's really a whole lot of interest in the Bitcoin right now. This is just like a consolidation situation, and we need a catalyst here if you're going to take this bad boy higher. Now, again, no catalyst here. We can work right down here to that 6,000 mark. That's going to be very, very critical. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Alrighty, here we have gold, here we have silver. Now, silver is becoming one of my favorite trades in the SLV. Okay, now gold, I did not trade anything in gold here today because it's basically a Friday situation, but I did trade the silver, and the silver is looking very, very nicely here. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so gold here, we hit this high of that 52,776 level. Right now, you're at 52.65. This is what you got to get above, is this 52.69. That's going to be key. Now, we did get above it, but you got to close above it. That's going to be the key, 52.69. Then we can come up to today's high, 52.76. And then there isn't really much resistance right up here. You got 54.10. We got 54.52. We come up there, 54.80. But realistically, this is where you're going to be going. You're going to retest that 56.26. Now, again, we have to retest this. If it gets up in this area, we have to see what the reaction is going to be. Okay, is it going to blast through? Is it going to come down? Okay, if you crack above it, obviously 57 is going to be your next 5,700 is going to be your next a target, and you can work yourself all the way up to that 6,000 very easy. The key is you got to close above this. Once we close above it, then I say we could rocket higher. Downside, very simple. Watch the 8-day 51.49, 21-day 51. Then we do have support here, yes, but realistically, your big target 47.92. 100-day 44.63 and your retest at 44.23 level. Okay, 60. That's not overbought, oversold. Green is over your red here, and there's really, this is still very, very bullish. The price is above all your simple moving average. 200-day, 100-day, 50-day, 21-day, and your 8-day. It just looks like we got a consolidation, and we're looking for a little bit higher. Now, this weekend is going to be very, very critical. If they don't come up with some kind of a deal, U.S. with Iran, you could have a bombing, and what's going to take it and what's going to go up here? It's going to be gold, it's going to be silver, it's going to be crude oil. That's what's going to rally here if there's any kind of a war situation. Okay, so always remember that. Now, silver, SLV, one of my favorite trades here. I mean, this is just totally awesome. Yesterday, came right on down. Look at that, how nice it held that 21-day. And then we have a nice bottoming tail in that. And look at today. We held half that candle, and now we made a nice higher high. Okay, so what we had here for a high today is 94.76 level. So first of all, we're looking for there. Okay, 93.56 level. Okay, 93.70 level. Then we're coming right up to the top of this candle here at 95.78. Okay, so we got 94.76. That's your next target right there. Is going to be 95.78. And then we venture right up there to 96.73, okay? Then we can start ripping up here, okay? You got a nice 101 here. We'll come right up there at that 103, and then we'll come down here to 106, and then we have 110, 113, 117, 118, and then there's your big retest. So you got a lot more resistance here than we do on gold, but again, you're above these simple moving averages, and this thing squirts up. You can retest that 120, 178 very, very easy. For me, SLV, that's the trade, man. That is just happening. Look at today. It's up about 4.7%, a nice $3.76. You had a downside of 82.36, upside of 85.27 or 57.27. Just an awesome trade in the SLV. Okay. Now, on the downside here, bottom line, watch that 8-day. Look at that 8-day. Cross the 50-day, cross the 21-day. Look how nice that's moving up. So if this comes all the way down, as long as we hold that 8-day, that's going to provide very, very good support as that curls right back up here. Just look at the past. Look what that 8-day did all the way up here, okay? Now, we lose that 8-day. We're looking at the 21-day here at that 83.89, and then 50-day right there at 83.48. Yeah, then we can come down to the bottom there, 71.81. Then we're looking for the 100-day, and we're looking for the retest at 63.90. But right now, this just looks like it just wants to push higher. So all you got to do is look to the left of the chart. These are your upside target levels. Very, very easy. 57, plenty of room to run. Green over your red, looking very, very bullish. So if you want to make a good trade, SLV, man, I scalped that 3 times today. I mean, just beautiful trading. Now, I did my midday video there on gold and then the GLD, silver and SLV, and then crude oil with what I trade is the UCO, all the long positions. Okay, so get a chance, check it out. All right, let's take a look here now at the old crude ski. All righty, here we have the old crude oil. Now, a lot of the traders get a little bit nervous. They're saying, okay, we got to know we're going to be long trade. We don't know what's going to happen to the weekend. We're going to do all this here. So that's why you want to trade the charts, okay? That's what really works here, okay? So bottom line, let's just take this bad boy up here a little bit here, okay? So you can see here, we had this nice bottoming tail here, hit down there at 63.60. And all you do is look to the left of the chart. What do you see? 63.57 came in with 3 cents. Look at that shit, okay? See, this is why you always want to look to the past, because where it's been is where it's going to go. And what I mean by that is that's your support level. The next, okay, and if it would have lost that, your next level is going to be 62.58, that 200-day, because look how many times it held it. Now, we lose that, you got the 50-day, and then we got the 100-day sitting right there. Now, I don't know if this is going to go much lower, even if they'll say there is no war to get agreement or something. I think it'll come down, but I think that 200-day is going to hold. Because remember now, we're getting ready to go into that summer driving season here. So, you know, that crude is definitely in play. Upside right here. This is key. 67.28. Did we hit a higher high than that today? So far, 67.83. Absolutely, but you got to close above it. You can't just be like I'll come up here and then fall short. That's not going to work. So downside, watch that 8-day, watch that 21-day. then watch that bottom of that candle, okay? 63.60, and then you have your 200 SMA here. Now, on the upside, very, very easy here, okay? So basically, we'll just take this bad boy out here. This is what you're looking for, okay? 67.74, we look to the bottom there, 68.45, and then we come up there at 69.58, and then we have that 70.51. Now, here's that 70.51 level is sitting. Where am I at here? No, yeah, right there. Okay, 70.51. Just bring this price channel right across. Okay, now we cracking that 70.51. This is going to be a target right there. That's going to be 72.28. Okay, then we venture right up here. We got 73.68 there. We come up there at 75.18, but right there, 75.86. That's your big target. Now we get above that. Look at here. Okay, you got 78.40. What do we got here? You got 80.77. Then we bring that price channel across, 84.52. And right there, we have 87.63. And look at way up here, 95.03. So that could be a really good profitable situation if it rallies up. Now, remember this. Always, always remember this. T-Man does not like at all. He does not like high oil prices, okay? So when the prices goes up, he makes a phone call, get those prices down. That's what you got to have, okay? Okay, that's the beauty of trading crude. It's always in play. It always has action. That's the key. Now, it's just not just like the rig hound we had today. It's not just the API to EIA. It's any kind of a disruption. If you have a war, if you have hurricanes, if you have storms, if you have any kind of a shutdown, boom, crude's going to be going higher. That's just that simple. Now, you look at this 200-day here. I mean, this weekly chart. Look at that. 8-day, cross the 21-day, cross the 50-day here. This is looking very, very bullish. As long as that 8-day holds, very, very good. Okay, so again, you could come all the way down here if it sells off 62.58, but I think that would be a really, really good buying opportunity here to take that bad boy higher. Okay, so right now what we're looking for, a close above that 67.28. Then your next big target is going to be right there, that 70.51 level. Okay, take a look here now at natural gas. Alrighty, here we have natural gas. I made no trade in there today. There just wasn't no risk reward, just wasn't it there. UNG, the bottom was 11.37 and the high was 11.60. I mean, come on. There is nothing there. KOLD, same old thing right there. 23.10 on the bottom, 23.96. Way too hard to try to catch a trade on that. Okay, so on downside, you're watching the bottom of that candle, 277. Okay, all you do is look to the shelf of the chart here. What do you see? 277, that's a support, okay? Then we have 265, then we'll come down here at 262, okay? That is going to be your downside action. Upside, right here, 8-day, 2.94, okay? 21-day, 3.23. And then we have your 200-day over there sitting at 357, your 50-day at 370, and then we have the 100-day sitting at 389. I don't see anything really right here that's going to take this up higher. This was that big storm that we had, came all the way down, not by selling off. That was a contract roll. So right there. Rallied up here, got all the way up there to that 4.42. All you got to do is bring the candle over to the left-hand side. What do you see? Look at that resistance, okay? If you can't get above it, you're not going higher. Just that simple. But this is the reason here I don't hold this overnight. Popped right on up here, right to resistance. Next day, yeah, it could have went up, but it didn't. Look what happened. Came all the way down. Bear flag, down. Bear flag, down, and then she just fallen right off the map here. Okay, 39. That's not overbought, oversold. We're just hugging the bottom here. This could go lower right down to that 262. You need a good catalyst for something, but right now you're in what they call the shoulder season, okay? There's really no big demand here. If the weather starts warming up here, you have to look at, say, hey, how am I going to get the demand here? Well, you got to have some kind of disruption, okay? And then you got to have, like, say, hey, we got to have a real hot summer. Yeah, I'll rally up there. Okay, hurricane season. Yeah, they'll rally up there. Anything on that order, but right now you're in the shoulder season. There isn't really much here to say, okay? All right, let's take a look at the indexes. All righty, here we have Dow, S&P, and the old NASDAQ. Now, I've been saying here for weeks, we're going to get a correction, okay? Now, I think we're going to get 5-10% correction, because how I look at that is I don't listen to all this nonsense on CNBC or Bloomberg or all these even different sites, okay? That's all nonsense, okay? What you really have to do is look at how are these stocks trading. Okay, look at NVIDIA. Blowout numbers. I mean, $68 billion for the quarter. I mean, in 3 months, $68 billion. I mean, come on, man. I mean, holy schmoly. Okay, so you got the stock got as high as after hours. I think it was 203 to 204 in that area. Now you're sitting at 178. Okay, so what does that tell you? With blowout numbers and the stock goes down. Meta, same way. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Palantir. Okay, everything and going right on down. Okay, so that tells me that what's going to be the catalyst to take it up once the earnings season is done. Okay, you're not just going to have the Fed's going to cut by a quarter point. Who gives a shit? Okay, that's not going to take the market and rally up to 50,000. That's just not going to happen. You got to have some kind of a huge catalyst to take it up there. Now, inflation numbers came in a little worse than expected today. Okay, and that's not good. Okay, that's not good. They got to get us figured out here. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You can't stop all that noise. Just trade the charts. Okay, so we look here at the old Dow. You got to get right back up here above that 50-day. That's key. You have the 8-day, which crossed over 21-day. That's key. 21-day, 49.47. That's key. And then we can start going up here towards that 50 mark. We can't get above here. You're not going there. Just that simple. Now, today we hit this low, 48,678. Okay, we just go over here, 48,731. So we hit a little bit lower low. But however, the next thing is going to be 48.59. And then we have your 100-day sitting right here. And you can come all the way down to that 200-day very, very easily. Okay, so all the traders on the floor with the 50,000 hats, they got to put those back in the closets. Not working. Okay, so again, just all you got to do is bring these price channels right across. That's it. That's all you got to do. You get the simple moving averages and you bring those price channels across. That's all your downside targets. Very, very easy. Okay, but remember, all your key levels, your 8, 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, and 200-day. And then here's your minor support is the bottom of those candles. Very, very simple. 44, not overbought, oversold. Green below your red. This could go much lower. Okay, S&P. Wow, look at the S&P here. Okay, can't get off the schneid. That 7,002 is like a brick wall. Okay, but we came right on down here, and look how nice this 100-day is holding here. Okay, you held it on a closing basis. That's what we're looking for on a closing basis. So right now, watch that 68.31. We lose it, 67.75. That's your target. Next level, just bring that price down right across. You're looking at 67.20. And then we come all the way down here, 65.59. Very, very easy. That's the correction I'm looking at here. Is when the price comes down to these 200 SMAs. Now you can see here on the Nasdaq, which is the total lagger. Okay, we had that double top. See, 24.19 on high, and then we retested that bad boy there with 23.988. Double top, been selling off ever since. Okay, it just can't get off the old schneid. So what it's doing here is it's coming on down and it's rallying up. And then it's coming on down and it's rallying up and then it's coming on down. So I'm looking for this 200-day at 21.99. And then we have to see where we are here after that. But it could go much, much lower than that. But let's just see it all shake out here. Okay, now on the upside, say this gets some kind of a big rally. All you got to do is watch that 8-day. Okay, yellow 21-day. The pink there is the 100-day. And then we watch that 50-day at 23.234 level. Get above that. Then we can start hitting the top of that again, okay? Then we have 23.698. We come up there at that 23.804, and then we have a nice big retest at that 23.988 level, okay? And then we have obviously your breakout sitting right there. But right now, we have all these breakouts that are just sitting there, okay? But this just looks like this wants to go lower. So we got to watch these candles, but watch that 200-day on all these charts. Alrighty, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here Sunday night. And we will do it all over again. Now, remember, don't get too excited like on a Friday, okay? Like Friday, I cut my positions down. I usually trade 5,000 shares. So if I'm trading crude oil, I do 5,000 shares in UCO, okay? Or the silver, something like that. I know when you get on a Friday, I cut that down. 2,500 shares, maybe 3,000 shares. It depends on what kind of market we have, what's going on here, okay? So again, just remember, cut it down because you don't want to go into that weekend with a losing money and then come out of there swinging on Monday and try to revenge trade. Believe me, that's just not a good look for you. You just don't want to do that, okay? So again, if you're not a short trader, then just sit on your hands, okay? Wait for opportunity. That's the key. There's still a lot of good scalps. Even though you got a market down here, the Dow's down over 700, you still got a lot of good scalping opportunities like silver. Just a great scalping opportunity. I just scalped it 3 times today. Just a great scalping opportunity. Okay, the Bitcoin on the short side, great scalping opportunities. Okay, so again, always look for something. If you don't see it in one area, find something else. All right. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Sunday night. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.